All about hope. Which one will take the next step towards a trophy they've captured 6 times between them? Commentary in Limerick from Frankie Sheehan, Dowie Morris and Johnny Hammond.
A better set of Heineken Cup quarter-finals there has never been. 4 passion plays being staged at the 4 most raucously loud, intense and tribal venues on the continent. And what a classic way to kick us off. The 2 teams with the longest history in this tournament, 6 titles between them, and of course they competed for the 2008 title. Not met since then, and never met here at Thomond Park. And this crowd will play its part, not just the 16th, but the 17th and 18th man as well. But here is the 15 chosen to make it a 10th semi-final. Dave Kilcoyne lines up with BJ Botha at loosehead and tight head, respectively. Damien Varley is fit after concerns earlier in the week. Double Heineken Cup winner Paul O'Connell packs down with the emerging Dave Foley. Huge sigh of relief that captain Peter O'Mahony starts in that back row with Tommy O'Donnell. Their work on the floor may be crucial this afternoon. James Cullen is egged. All international backline. Conor Murray, fresh from his Six Nations heroics, will have Ian Keatley outside. Great form from the tee against Leinster a week ago. James Downey returns to the midfield after the Dennis Hurley experiment in Dublin. Casey Laulala, the All Black, wears 13. And more than a little bit of X-factor out wide with Simon Zebo and Keith Earls on the wings. Felix Jones joins them in the back 3. Well, for Toulouse, they have been sweating on a few injuries all week. In fact, until about an hour ago. They do still have front row concerns, but not at number 1. Gerthro Steenkamp more than fills the shirt. No Census Johnson, so Johan Montes has the responsibility at tight head. Christopher Tolofua, still just 20, but already capped twice. Johan Maestri, rested last week, takes his place alongside Patricio Albacetti, his 6th Heineken Cup quarter-final. Yannick Nyanga doesn't even make the 23. Joe Takori drops from the second row to the back row. 19-year-old Yakuba Kamara is on the blind side with Louis Picamol at 8. What an outstanding tournament he has had so far. Jano Vermark takes Jean-Marc Dussant's place in a change just hours ago. Luke McAllister starts at fly half. Gael Ficou, another rested a week ago, lines up with Florian Fritz in the centres. Johan Huget, fullback last week, on the wing this. Jose Aguirre is on the other flank, with Maxime Murdar making up such a potent and all-international backline. Not too much front row experience to call upon on Munster's bench, but they do have plenty in the second row. Donegal O'Callaghan could make his 96th Heineken Cup appearance. Toulouse bench, not the strength of old, but they do have the boot of Jean-Marc Dussant. A surprise he's not starting. Well, some have been suggesting that Toulouse, the 4 times champions, are in slow decline, and certainly their league standing down in 6th, and their performances, especially on the road, indicate that. They may have won at Wembley, Saracens home that day, but they certainly won't have the same away day feeling here at Thomond today. But in the top 14, they have only won 1 of their 12 outside Toulouse. But still, with 13 internationals on the park from the off, the Rouge et Noir, like the Munstermen, have such an intrinsic relationship with this Heineken Cup.
4 times winner, Toulouse, the terrific, or the terrible. That sums up, as you said, Johnny, that the Rouge Noir throughout their pool, beating Saracens in both legs, then losing to Connacht at home, failing to score 4 tries at Lowly Zebra away. Thus, they find themselves in the belly of the beast. But in Louis Picamol's, they have their own. Nicknamed the Iceberg, his sole role this afternoon is to carry and position his side in enemy territory, giving a target for the other forwards and subsequently his kickers to do their duty and trying to distinguish the Munster fire from the off.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Toulouse, led by Captain Patricio Albacetti.
273 Heineken Cup games between them. 2 names synonymous with this Heineken Cup. European rugby club royalty. But down the years, Munster's wins in this competition have defied rugby logic at times. But that is how it has always been, as has winning at this great venue. Unbeaten this season in all competition. But it goes further than that. 50 games here in this tournament, and only twice have the walls of this fortress been breached. Never by a French team, though. This may be a new generation of men in red, but it is still the same hunger, desire and will to win.
Well, Frankie talked about it, Johnny, you talked about it. The 16th man has already been in fine voice as they anticipate the start of this huge heavyweight quarter-final between two teams. They've been written so much in history of this tournament since 1995. One man that has his own chapter is no longer performing, Ronan O'Gara. One man that is starting to scribble his first few sentences, Ian Keatley, takes his place. Different physically, but still aligned when it comes to doing the right things at the right time. Keatley was brilliant at King's Home, controlled and accurate. More of the same is required today.
Raise your voices for Munster! Led by Captain Peter O'Malley.
Just what an atmosphere here at Thomond Park. We've already said it, 4 stunning quarter-finals at 4 stunning venues. Tribalistic, doesn't even go close.
Well, they reckon it was harder to get a ticket for this game than it was when Ireland played the All Blacks. That's the anticipation that their followers have had about this game since it was first flagged up, and they were brilliant, Munster. They came out here and warmed up, they milked the crowd, they ran round. Stand up and fight has been reverberating in people's ears, and my word, this is going to be one heck of a quarter-final bash.
Two sides, the very embodiment of this tournament, and everything that is good about it. The passion, the commitment, the courage and spirit. And for the best games, you have the best referee. Nigel Owen holds the whistle this afternoon. 2 European heavyweights going toe-to-toe. Incredible history between them in this tournament. 6 titles and all a great rivalry at the very top level of European rugby. Not met since 2008 final. Old rivals in a new arena. This is what Heineken Cup rugby is all about. And James Corlett takes the kick-off. And down in the trenches this afternoon, we have Frankie Sheehan. You've been involved in those 4 games between these two sides. How different is it watching this afternoon?
It is very difficult, I can tell you that. But the feeling I'm getting, I've met a couple of the players and the management just before. Munster have physically and mentally never been more prepared. They are up for this game, deciding to play against the wind. It's going to be interesting.
And O'Mahony snatches that first line out, but he was under a huge amount of pressure, wasn't he, from Maestri. And O'Mahony down, holding his left shoulder, and the early penalty to Munster. Paul O'Connell looking at Peter O'Mahony, concerned eyes.
And this is exactly what we wanted to do, talking with Frankie before. BJ Boda's got to secure the scrum, and these guys are going to get up in the line-out. That's exactly what they've done, putting pressure on Toulouse straight away. They're a monstrous pack at Toulouse. Peter O'Mahony's gone down injured, but he's back up. He doesn't look too hurt. He's holding his left arm, or left. He's trying to stretch it off here, but I think he should be okay. Very important.
Into the defence of that line-out. It is pinpoint accuracy and timing. Superb steal there by Munster. And just what we spoke earlier about, getting off to the right start here, getting the 16th man, which is the crowd behind them. That's what they've done.
It was so important, wasn't it? O'Mahony with that first line-out take. Paul O'Connell with the second. A defensive jump from Toulouse in that second line-out. And Munster play it down the back line, and we will have a line out. The first one for Toulouse on the far side.
Yeah, ball going to Casey Lala. Good with ball in hand. The accuracy of the pass wasn't too good. And Toulouse able to drift across the field there. Put pressure on the first line, and can they nick their one? They have it again. Munster, 2 out of 2.
And this is a huge Toulouse back. Laulala. Felix Jones outside. Little half gap was there. But Ficou. Gael Ficou closes it off. Here's Keatley. Lovely offload to BJ Botha. This is the start that Munster wanted. Here's O'Connell. The noise is incredible. Imagine when they score, if they score. Conor Murray, Corlin, up against Picamoz today. What a battle within the battle that will be. There is Picamoz, he's scragged Murray, isn't it?
Black, it's lost now.
It's Foley calling for it. Zebo now. Keatley, full of running. In these opening minutes. Varley. Keith Earls is in there to help out. Laulala. Really bright start this for the Munster men, feeling they need some points to show for it. With every run they are getting closer to that Toulouse line. James Downing back in the side. Botha with Felix Jones there. Murray again, they go on the short side. Corlin. Kilcoyne. 15th phase now for Conor Murray. Varley. Tolofua. O'Donnell. Munster just pouring forward. Wave after wave of attack. Keatley. Downey and the little scissor ball. It's pick and go from O'Connell. No way through there. Have to say it's great defence from Toulouse this. But Felix Jones is calling for it on this right-hand side. Keith Earls is so wide, the penalty is coming to Munster anyway. They want more. Keatley, there's space out wide. It's Zebo, it's Keith Earls, it's try number one. We don't even have 5 minutes on the clock, and already Thomond Park has gone berserk. What a start from Munster.
And what a passage of play. I lost count of how many phases that went through. The penalty was coming. They weren't going to go back for the penalty. The vision was there. Zebo standing in at first receiver, battering the line. Downey going in first. Keatley orchestrating things. Superb play. Forwards generating the ball. You can see there Keatley. Zebo, is he going to be smashed? No, he's not. The ball goes over the top. Keith Earls into the corner. What a fantastic try. What a start from Munster.
I lost count after two.
Just breathless stuff from Munster. The 2 line-out takes. Stole the line-out from Toulouse and they drove forward wave after wave. And Keith Earls already scored 2 tries in this tournament. His 37th start today in this Heineken Cup. Out of his 37 appearances in this tournament. Keatley now, as the noise drops to absolute silence here at Thomond Park. He was in fine form last week. In fine form from that opening kick. And it looked like Munster in fine form too.
Well, it is the perfect start. Exactly, Dougie Howden looking down, quite happy with that, looking at Keith Earls. But that is exactly what Munster needed. The crowd are totally behind the team, and you had to worry for Toulouse initially. Some of the hits that had come in there, Tolofua and Paul O'Connell, Kamara and Tommy O'Donnell. If anyone was wondering whether Toulouse would turn up or not, they have turned up, I can tell you. And this is going to be some match.
In front.
Intensity is quite incredible on and off this field. Should have seen the looks we got when we spoke over Ian Keatley kicking.
You
looks could kill.
You spoke over it. I was very quiet. But again, a coach's nightmare. You score a superb try and nailed the conversion. You come back. There's just a mix-up, which allows McAllister now as Rob Penny and Simon Mannix looks on to actually get 3 points. This should be a given. And watching McAllister before, kicking from the other end, he's keeping his kicks very low because of the wind.
Doesn't take too much time, does he, Luke McAllister? Just what Toulouse will have wanted. Responds straight back. He was a doubt all week, wasn't he, McAllister? Guy Vez looks on. With that back issue, didn't he, McAllister? He was named along with Pochino Clerk. Niagara is the 23rd man, and they made a decision only a few hours ago. Keatley. Poor kick from Keatley.
Two mistakes. Again, great try. Unfortunately, penalty for a mix-up down there, and then the restart, trying to be a little bit too cute, trying to keep the ball down into the wind to give your charging guys a chance of getting the ball and retaining the ball. Unfortunately, undercooked it, so it's a scrum halfway.
It's your first scrum. Standards from here, please.
Such a passionate start from Munster.
Crouch.
Toulouse responding, and now they have this scrum right on the halfway line. We've been there, done it, got the tea towel, the mug, the tray, haven't they, Toulouse? The side has won more titles in this competition. That's slightly forward from Medard to Auger. Nigel Owens doesn't miss those. And the crowd just reminding him not to miss it.
Put it down the other side then.
Louis Pickemolles is very crucial to the way Toulouse want to play this game against Toulon. They lost that game last week, carried the ball 16 times, averaged 7 metre a carry, but only made one tackle. You can see what happens. The rest of the back row do all his work, all his tackling. He carries the ball and moves it into a position for then his forwards to get it out or his kickers to kick the goal.
Census Johnston stretch off last week, wasn't he, against Toulon, almost a dress rehearsal to this Heineken Cup quarter-final. Munster had their own dress rehearsal, didn't they, in Dublin against Leinster. And it's an area that Munster will target. Jan Montes hasn't had the best season on the tight head.
It's a thing of beauty for Frankie Sheenan there, isn't it? I can see him sitting over there, looking into the scrum, wishing he could get out and get his boots on again, I'm sure. But first one...
We get in, get your feet underneath your body there, please.
Just slipped a little
bit.
bit.
We get in, we set, we do nothing till the ball comes in. Then we drive legally and square.
Nigel Owens laying down the law, and I hope we don't get a situation when we get scrum after scrum going down, because again this game is fizzing and we want to see the ball through the hands, so get it in and get it out.
Crouch.
Montes province, like in Toulouse,
Set.
it's not just a game, it's a way of life, isn't it? And the thousands that have turned up here to watch their men in red will be absolutely delighted that they get the first penalty at scrum time. Says so much more, doesn't it, to Corey and Omani.
Well, it's a really, really interesting part of the game from a front row point of view. What you're looking at there, really, both sides trying to feel each other out. The ground is slightly wet there. Very difficult to really know whose fault that was, but referees very often at the start of a game will give a penalty against someone as a warning sign. But I wouldn't read too much into it that Munster are dominant just yet. A lot of hard scrummaging to look forward to yet.
Frankie, is that an area that Munster will target this afternoon without Census Johnston?
Census Johnston's an absolutely huge loss, and a big game then, of course, for Montes coming in. Good, decent player, but doesn't have the track record that Johnston has, so Munster will go after that area.
Play on, went back, play on, black.
Both stolen, a line out each. Toulouse's turn this time. McAllister. He's had a huge boot of him, isn't he? Zebo. Through feet. Simon Zebo in that sort of free roll that at times you saw in Dublin last week. That's when he's at his most dangerous, isn't it?
He likes to get the ball, and that's for sure, whether it's on his wing, and he'll look for a lot of work. But you can see there is a little bit of a wind advantage with Toulouse at the moment. You got McAllister, just didn't really put anything into that kick, and it went 60-odd metres down the pitch. Those first two nicks and steals for Munster have just been sort of equalled up a little bit with that one from Toulouse. Now they're putting the ball through the hands.
Fritz against Alala. Fickle. 20 years of age already, 8 caps to his name. And there is the work on the floor from Munster. It is going to be so crucial this afternoon. BJ Botha slices down Toulouse, and that's what they must do.
It was the battle of the breakdown was going to be crucial. James Corlin there, just scragging Fiku, the 20-year-old, the youngster that was trying to get into midfield for his support. This is earlier on in the play, just going across. But again, when it came down to it, Corlin is there, he can bend his back, he can get over. If you look at the size of this Toulouse back row, they're monsters. They're all over 6'4", 6'5", 18, 19 stone. It's difficult for them, carrying the ball fine, but you ask him to bend their back a little bit. Look at the size of Joe Takuri. He's not going to do that very often. If Corlin can get in there, Mahoney, and obviously O'Donnell can get there, they win the battle of breakdown. They're halfway there.
It's about getting those huge runners, and
You're binding this
no, we've said it already, but this is a monster Toulouse pack. We saw them squeeze the life out of the Saracens, didn't we? In that comeback at Wembley. Gillian Galland to come off the bench as well. It's the work on the floor from the likes of O'Donnell and Marnie. And that last penalty was BJ Botha. Here comes the driving more.
They're going for a penalty, they're going to buy a penalty. That's brilliant work, Munster.
Number 7.
Cancel out that early penalty from McAllister.
From the side.
Who's the last man onto his feet, right to the heart of it, as he has been for so many years here. It's Paul O'Connell.
There's a lot of penalties against your
Great
side
play.
early on. Get the
Nigel
discipline,
Owens
please.
is telling the Toulouse guys to stop giving away penalties. A lot of penalties coming in from the side there. Tremendous control from that line out. Donald takes it, beautiful there. Gets it back, the support, slips it to the back, and then they're in control of the movement. And the only thing Toulouse can do is come in from the side, stop it. It gives Keatley a chance now, like you said, Johnny, to get those 3 points back.
Huh?
6 against 6.
Yes, I know. Take too long
Dublin
now,
last week past 500 points for Munster in Keatley. Already 64 points in this Heineken Cup, started every game. Another opportunity for 3 points. Really, it should be an easy kick, and it is for Ian Keatley. Munster up to 10.
Big boots to fill. Mr. O'Gara has gone to pastures new. And Keatley obviously has taken over with that, and that's a lovely strike, very confident. I've enjoyed his first 16 or so minutes. He seems confident with ball in hand as well, orchestrating things, but that's what he will be judged in when it comes to crucial games like that, his accuracy in front of the posts.
We saw that interview with Peter O'Mahony, didn't we, with Quinny earlier in the week. Very keen to say this is a new Munster team. And for a while we have been talking about this Munster team in transition with Rob Penny, Simon Mannix. They're off at the end of the season to Japan. But this is where Toulouse are dangerous. Scored 70% of their tries from their back three, 60% of those in broken field situations. Vermaak to McAllister, and Fritz misses out to Corey, into Steenkamp. McAllister, little juggle from him. Fiku, Phoenix Jones, good tackle from him. And Munster pour through, and they have the advantage, and they want to play it through Conor Murray.
Back. Hughes.
Expect Munster, they're happy to take the penalty, kick downfield and have the line out. But play continues.
Hughes! Advantage over.
Six Nations title winner. Uge. Oh, he had a fine Six Nations campaign, didn't he? Man of the match against England with those two tries. Vermaak, McAllister. Doesn't look like there's anything wrong with his back. Have been swapping and changing the half-backs, haven't they, with Bézi and Doucet, Vermaak, McAllister box seats in the last few weeks. Keith Earls, that's twice in the last couple of minutes. He's gone very, very low on Louis Picamar. Conor Murray knew that there was space on the short side. Vermaak very, very quickly to block it off, but Conor Murray, very quick of thought, right in the heat of the battle.
He was, you could see there was numbers on this near side. This Picamol's, his trademark handoff, handoff, handoff. Unfortunately, his presentation is terrible. And again, they've coughed this ball up a couple of times. It was alarming once deep down in the 22 for Toulouse when they put a bit of pressure in, but they're not able to just simply keep hold of the ball.
Well, bad news here for Munster. You'll see there Peter O'Mahony coming off, holding his arm there. And that is bad news. He was struggling touch and go whether he'd be involved this week or not. Missed last week, last minute, through a hamstring, and looks like a different problem here. You can see the anguish on his face. But good news for CJ Stander. He gets an opportunity now to come in, and he's a guy who has played really, really well at the opportunities as he got, and some people would argue that he should be getting more opportunities, so we'll be interested to see what impact he has.
That is a blow for Munster. Well, Penny was talking about it before the game, wasn't he? An interview with Simo. Not just as a player and the work he does on the floor, but as a leader as well. But what a bad replacement in the man taking the line out now, Paul O'Connell.
Interesting there, CJ Stander straight on, acts as a scrum half, so basically he's not going to pass the ball, he's got straight into the guts of it. Now Conor Murray comes up, now the red guys go forward. Brilliant play from Munster once again.
This crowd willing them towards that line. Technically, this is brilliant work from Munster. How many times down the years have we seen them do it? It's now with Conor Murray, though. Murray going himself. Is he held up by Picamol's?
The tackle is on the shoulder here, okay? Not tie, scrum held up, red ball.
5 metre scrum.
It's one of those, if you go like that, you've got to score. Conor Murray held up. There's a couple of big crane arms that came on top of him. You thought he was going to slide in. He did get over the line. Anthony Foley looks on. But again, the guys are going forward. The Munster forwards were inching forward to that line. So you make a decision, really. You've got to get your 5-pointer.
Dowie, you took the words out of my mouth. As a forward, you'd be absolutely raging at that. As you said, they were inching towards the line. They were within a yard or two, I would say within 5 to 10 seconds of getting it over. And if you do take that ball, Conor Murray, you've got to score, and he'll be disappointed with that.
Crouch.
But they still have the 5 metre scrum.
Bind. Set.
CJ Stander. Started last week, didn't he?
Set again.
It's played all across the back row. The South African, 24 years of age today.
Get your body up, please.
Sad hit for Peter O'Mahony, though.
Close, yeah.
The opening quarter, 82% possession for Munster, 7-point lead.
That is incredibly big because, again, Toulouse have a wind advantage with them as well. So you imagine you put that for the second half, advantage definitely will be with Munster.
Bind.
A heavy shower earlier on this morning, but dry and warm now here at Thomond Park as another penalty is given to Munster.
Wait.
And he wants a word as well.
He's sitting down and he's binding on the shoulder, on the arm and pulling down. If you do not listen, as I told you before the game, you will go off. Is that clear? Go and speak to him. I'll stop until you've spoken.
You're not allowed to, but Frankie, right, but I think it is the rule. You're not allowed to bind on the arm. You've got to bind on the shirt. And Nigel Owens has had enough. Simple as.
And you cannot miss with Nigel Owens. If he says he's going to do something, he will do it.
Time up as well. You're taking a long time.
Already pressure coming
Minute starts now.
on Johan Montes.
And those penalties conceded 6-1. You aren't going to win games, Toulouse, if you give away that many penalties with this guy in this form that he's in at the moment. He doesn't look like missing, and this is well.
And this to take it out to a 10-point game.
Well, I can tell you, the last thing I'd say Johan Montes was expecting when he came to Thomond Park was to get a scrummaging lesson from Nigel Owens, and that's exactly what he did. So far, there's been 2 penalties against Toulouse, one on either side, but I still think both sides are feeling each other out in this area. Munster will be watering at the mouth. I think this is an area, along with the line-out maul, that they can totally exploit, so watch this space.
O'Donnell goes up, swept back to Fikuda. And Munster will want to keep it tight, won't they? Want to keep it set-piece driven.
And that's where McAllister is so good. He's so experienced. He can just break things up. He knows they've got to get their hands on the ball. They haven't had any passage of play. So he just puts a cute little kick up. Camera gets the ball back. And now at least they've got the ball. But the Munster forwards, backs, the line speed is superb. They're putting pressure. As soon as the guys come out, one out, pressure on, and the tackle goes. And that's a great rip.
Great rip. Tommy O'Donnell shot down Maestri. James Corlin was in there. And now here Earls comes away. Keatley. Not the end that Munster would have wanted. There's some excellent work from the back row.
First mistake from Keatley. There's the big fella. Maestri goes in, and we see that so much. The arm goes in and just rip up from James Corlin. Superb play. So every time Toulouse look like they're going to do something, they just cough up this ball. And Munster, BJ Bota, the recipient there, just takes the ball on, go to ground, and like I said, the ball going out to the left-hand side. Keatley, unfortunately, just forcing his arm there with a pass. He didn't need to go, just keep hold of the ball. There's only one side in it at the moment.
We spoke about the home record before the game, didn't we? And the away record of Toulouse. Yes, they may have won at Saracens. Connacht, there was a reaction from losing at home to them earlier in the rounds. And Zebre been in the top 14, only one win in 12. A draw a couple of weeks ago in Paris against Stade Francais. But it is all Munster at the moment. Every facet of the game.
And the players are giving to the crowd are giving back to the players. CJ Stander. And I was talking to Frankie before, and he thought he may have started this game. He's on now, and he's just basically choked Louis Piquemol. Piquemol just coming round the corner. They're just trying to set something up. CJ Stander knows this exactly. You can see Piquemol's at the back. They go yard, 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 and all of a sudden then Piquemol looks. CJ Stander sees them, and then the call goes up. Watch for number 20. There he goes, up high, gets underneath the ball. Corlin is in there again. That's great play. Ball gets turned over.
But it's that decision, isn't it, to either chop down the legs or take up high in the choke tackle. And look there, the territory to go with that possession. Toulouse haven't been in Munster's 22. But those are getting those decisions right at the moment, aren't they, Munster? To take down Maestri, low, right in front of us here. And
go, please.
that example, taking them high for the choke tackle and getting the turnover.
But to be fair, they're having to do not a great deal at the moment because Toulouse are turning the ball over. They just look a little bit rudderless to be true. And what did we say about French teams and travelling away from home? I know it's early days, but 13-3 at this stage, Rob Penny would have bitten your hand off.
Absolutely right, would have been more than happy with a 10-point lead. 26 minutes on the clock, Rob Penny.
We haven't one good
but you
scrum
cannot
yet.
write off
Unless you get it
Toulouse
right,
with
you
all
will
their
go to the
experience.
bin.
No one has
It's
more
entirely in
experience
your
in
hands
this
now.
competition with the likes of McAllister
Drive square, keep
Fritz,
square.
Ficou, Medar, Uge, Jose Aguirre.
Well, that's what I say, Jose Aguirre. You've got, you know, Houget, who
Seconds,
terrorised
getting
England with 2
please.
tries in the man of the match performance, Six Nations. They've got quality. If you give them space and you give them good ball, they'll score against anybody. At the moment, they're not getting that ball. It's stuttery, it's slow. They're not getting a chance, but I tell you what, they will. But the Munster defence is holding firm so far.
Keatley, Felix Jones. Sort of off the training ground, that one, wasn't it? Conor Murray. Nice flat pass. Into stand-up. Downing. Into Florian Fritz. Noyan David in that midfield. O'Connell now the captain.
Pass forward from 5.
Forward pass. Just didn't see Paulie O'Connell's hands there. They obviously must have gone forward instead of back.
Better.
Wasn't happy with the runner though, was he?
No. Do the simple things well, you will win games. And that was a simple thing, unfortunately done badly, but they are recycling the ball. I like to see Downey's taking the ball in, Collins everywhere at the moment. This is one area of contention that will, I think, Munster hopefully will not struggle, because there's not a great deal of strength on the bench. I don't know what Frankie thinks of it.
Well, I can tell you, on my left here at the edge of his seat, every time there's a set piece, an old sparring partner of mine, William Servat, he's intrigued at the scrummaging and what's happening. The last scrum was the first scrum, actually, on 27 minutes that actually completed fully. And you could see that there was Toulouse were well up for it, and both front rows, amazingly, watching it afterwards, they didn't run to their next position. They got up and walked. They were both. It just gives you an idea of what a scrum actually takes out of you.
Already the Munster faithful are singing, and they won't be singing about that decision. Penalty to Toulouse. William Servat, along with Jean-Baptiste Elassal, of course, both played in that 2008 Heineken Cup final that lost to Munster. The final that Peter Omani watched as a boy. Now off the field with that shoulder injury.
This well within McAllister's range. Collins just going off his feet at that ruck. Picamoles putting Fritz through, something putting McAllister through himself. And the first guy in, he was over the top and then fell to his knees. So McAllister a chance of 3 points.
You get the feeling already they need to take every opportunity to lose. Of course, this knowledgeable and passionate crowd, silence for their kicker and silence for the away kicker as well. Neither kicker looks like missing this afternoon. 13 points to 6. Guy Vez on the Toulouse bench with William Servat and Jean-Baptiste Elassal.
See if Keatley does better with this restart. Just give your forwards a chance of getting it back. Don't be too cute. Well, they won't get that one back, but you can see what he's doing.
He's practicing that so much before kick-off. Right in front of us here, Picamont. Call him the iceberg. You understand why. Huge kick from McAllister. Keatley is scurrying back. Gives himself plenty of time.
And that's the advantage of the wind, and that's the advantage that Munster will have in the second half.
Well, I often wonder why somebody like Picamoles, you'd kick off into him. He's had 86 carries in the pool stages of this competition. You saw the way he fended off Paul O'Connell. That allowed to set up the ruck to give McAllister that time to give what was a monstrous kick. Look at the return from inside his own 22. They've given the ball back on the 22 of Munster.
Oh dear, you're right, Frankie, but they're in absolute disarray to lose at the moment. They don't know how many people are going in the line out. Nigel Owens has had enough. Give Munster a free kick.
Picamoles has calling into Corey. All at sea at the moment, Toulouse. And so is James Downey, just for a moment. In that Munster 22 is knocked on by the big centre. Toulouse being gifted this scrum.
And that really is the only way Toulouse are going to get back into this game, if Munster give it him. And that's not accurate passing. Downey just misses the ball once, twice, thrice, and then you just give yourself a target. You're back to the opposition. It's Kilcoyne there. You don't want to be doing that. And if you do it, that ball's got to go into the hand. And you've got to get out your territory. The exit strategy has got to be right. It wasn't on that occasion.
First time Toulouse have been in that Munster 22. And that was great things about that Munster side, the double Heineken Cup winners, in the heat of the moment. They stayed exceptionally cool, and Munster weren't cool at that moment. They had the free kick. Now they put the pressure on themselves. Pressure coming on that front row as Nigel Owens gives the penalty to Toulouse, and Pickamoles goes. But Nigel Owens says no, come back.
They're too far away, okay? Back behind the scrum.
Saying that Pickamoles is too far away. You see refs give them, see refs pull them back. It's up to the interpretation of the referee. Put into the scrum, but they've gone for the conservative option of 3 points.
Yeah, anyway, there, yeah.
Yeah, well, you can see there, I think, hard to see exactly what was going on in that particular scrum. I don't think both is under that much pressure, but you'd see the scrum going down and the ref probably balancing things off. But the interesting reaction there, you see Pickamoles and the Toulousian, the French attitude to look to go every time. He bounced the ball and he was called back, but I think he was probably lucky he did get called back, because here's an excellent opportunity for another 3 points.
And you would suspect that Kino Vez will have had his heart in his mouth when he saw Pickamoles going for that quick tap. That was the right decision. 13 points to 9, and Toulouse, frankly, haven't been in this game so far, but only 4 points down.
And that's what happens. William Servat sat next to Kino Vez there. When you're in these games, you take every opportunity to get as many points as possibly you can. But again, you haven't seen Toulouse in any form whatsoever so far in this game. You mentioned it, Johnny, it was their first visit to a 22 in the 31st minute. Munster have just done their homework, they've done the job, they've pressurised in defence, they've taken the opportunity, and they scored that crucial try right early on in the game. But we've, like I said before, we've got a long way to go.
Munster were keen this week, weren't they, to shower the compliments on the 4 times champions. Class all across the park. Athletes blessed with rugby talent, with some of the quotes coming out of the Munster camp.
Be very careful.
Of course, this is the first of 4 titanic games later on this afternoon. Clermont Auvergne against Leicester. 74 games unbeaten at home at the Stade Marcel Michelin. Richard Coughlin, his old club, go there and break the record. Can Toulouse break this home record this season for Munster?
And that's the first time you've seen a little bit of a smile coming on a Toulouse forward. Then Maestri gets up from there. He pats his big props on the backside. He's patting someone else on the shoulder. They got the first real, for me, nudge in his scrum. They went for the penalty and they got it. Very powerful indeed.
Frankie, just wanted to ask you, the first couple of scrums very much the way of Munster. Penalties to them. There was even a warning for Montez. What's changed around? Because the last 2 scrums have been penalties to Toulouse.
Well, I think the first few scrums, as I'd said earlier, looked more like slips to me, and very often the referee would just give a penalty or two to sort of establish their authority in this. But I think you can see in the last couple of scrums they're gone against BJ Botha, and Toulouse are certainly up for it.
Fiku on the turnover line out. Fritz, his hands needed to be quick.
Felix Jones is down. I don't know what he's hurt, but he's just saved a try. This starts with Paul O'Connell getting up there. Alba said he can't get in there. That's brilliant from Paul O'Connell, just getting his hand in. Unfortunately, the support players or the sweeping of Conor Murray wasn't there. Camera got through, and that intervention. Yes, there was defence coming across, they were sliding across. But Felix Jones there, well, that's what's hurt his shoulder.
It's Medard, isn't it? It's them racing across, both men. But in a bad way, you have to say. Felix Jones is sitting back up. But it was a great piece of play from Kamara, wasn't it? He came through that line-out and stole it back for Toulouse.
Well, Jones is up. Body on the line stuff from him. Medard's down, but obviously we've got Poitras on the bench. But he seems okay. Maybe his pride just a little bit dented, but that's the danger they can possess. You've got to be on your game all the time with Toulouse. Now they'll be putting pressure on the Munster line-out. Well, they won't, because they don't jump.
That's once. Next stoppage, Hughes.
Good to see both players back on their feet. The fullbacks. Conor Murray goes high. Zagier commanded that situation, didn't he? He's got 14 caps for the All Blacks. Here's Fritz. Fiku. Sliced down by Laulala. Stingkamp. Mena, Houget comes back this side. Then in the end, just indecision. Makes him go to ground. McAllister. Across to Gear. Never going to work out. Girls was there anyway. Line out to Munster.
All the tricks are coming out, but unfortunately they're not working for Toulouse at the moment. Crossfield just trying to break things up. Jose Gear doesn't quite get it. Did very well with an up and under before. Keith Earls is always going to be there with his pace and experience. But at least from a Toulouse point of view, they've actually had some territory. They can put a few passages of play together. But like I said, that wind advantage is definitely at Munster's back in that second half.
There's no other option I can do now.
Yeah, well, one of the things that Munster were well warned about before this match, that if you are clearing a ball with a clearance kick, don't just kick it out, kick it into Rosette. Make sure that it is well cleared, because we all know how dangerous the French can be. And when the ball is thrown around the place, when it's loose, that's what they love, and that's what they're best at. And you just saw it on that last phase. Okay, Jose Gear couldn't hold it on that particular occasion, but that's how dangerous they can be.
They are beginning to chance a few things, aren't they? But great example of Houget on that far side, one way and the other. He just had to go to ground. O'Connell called it to himself. Driving ball has worked really well in this first 37 minutes, hasn't it, for Munster? 17 years of Heineken Cup quarter-finals have been exactly 17 wins. The stats are with the home side. Jose Gear can't take it. Advantage to Munster. Camera. Saw his brother playing for Stade Francais last night and it lost to Harlequins.
Brilliant box kick from Conor Murray. Very difficult to do in these windy conditions. He timed that absolutely brilliantly, and a fantastic platform from his guys. They knew what they were trying to do on that occasion, worked brilliantly. Jose Gear that time couldn't get up for it. Unfortunately, it was a knock on, but look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4 seconds. That's what you need. Jose Gear takes his hand off it, sorry, his eyes off it. Doesn't touch it with his hand, and advantaged to Munster.
By taking those responsibilities of the kick. So with Danny Kerr last night. Harlequins has been doing it for England as well. He takes the pressure off Keatley, doesn't he?
Set.
Here's Conor Murray, who's turning into a world-class scrum half, isn't he? Scrum is wheeling around. It'll be reset.
At least they got another chance of putting this in. It would seem to me that Toulouse are chasing it up on this left-hand side with Steerkamp.
Time out. Front rows on the two captains, please.
We will listen to Nigel.
You have to.
You're quite right, you do.
You don't like the scrummage? but if you don't, you're in the wrong position. Now, I'm telling you this, if you're not going down, you're standing up. The next ones I feel is causing the problems, you are going to go for 10 minutes. You're all been at fault, and you've had all at your final warning. Is that clear? Yeah. Get on with it, please.
If you don't like scrummaging, you're in the wrong position.
Yes.
Just, I wish there was a quotes book for Nigel Owens.
The shape of some of these backs, they could go in. McAllister could come in as a prop. Fritz could come in as a prop. I hope we sort it out, because again, I don't want it to spoil the game. I know it's an incredibly important part of the game, but we have seen games that are spoilt by this constant sort of problem of scrums collapsing, and it's too good a game to be spoilt by this.
Corlin keeps it at the base. Here's Keatley. Downing. Olala is stuck to the ground, without having the ball. Toulouse looking for that turnover. Decore did brilliantly over the top, but he did it illegally, says Nigel Owens.
No, not yet. Off his feet, playing the ball.
What do you do here, Dowie? Final minute. Just inside the Toulouse half.
Sorry, Johnny, the wind is too strong. So they will go in. They've got at least got a chance. They've got time for another line out. So what they'll just take that off the top, drive with the forwards, try and buy a penalty, and make it easier for Keatley to score the 3 points.
Well, Dowie, you said it there. I think that's exactly what they're trying to do. Time is against them in this half. If Toulouse can turn around at half-time and only be 39 behind, that is a serious result, considering they haven't really played at all. I can tell you Guy Noves will be delighted with that. So this is a crucial moment of the game.
Final minute of this first half then, of this first quarter-final, and it's Munster driving that ball into the Toulouse 22. Paul O'Connell right to the heart of it. And they shear off on the right-hand side again. Toulouse have got it to ground now, though. O'Donnell into Maestries, driven backwards. Corlin had to really reach for that pass. McAllister is there making the tackle. He rolls away. Toulouse being told to keep their hands out of it. Foley. Botha. Laulala. Offload to Felix Jones. Doesn't work out. Advantage to Toulouse. Didn't quite work for Munster. Right at the end of this first half. Toulouse, for a majority of this first half, have not been in the game, but just 4 points in it. What an incredible second half we have here at Thomond Park. You can never write off the 4-time champions. Munster surely will not make that mistake. 13-9 at half-time here at Thomond.
And it has been a bit of a slugfest, hasn't it? Munster out to a very fast start indeed. They've held the lead since the 5th minute when Keith Earls crashed over. We did wonder if Toulouse were going to come to the party, and they have rumbled back into it. Power up front and the boot of Luke McAllister, and it's only 4 the difference.
For him, and then basically into the corners, and let his forwards do the rest. That would be my game plan. I'm sure it's Rob Benny's game plan. I don't need to see this ball being flung around this pitch until the deal is done. And simply for Toulouse, they've just got to get some possession, and when they get the possession, they've got to hold on to it. They just coughed it up.
Munster, when they looked the most dangerous in that first 40 minutes, especially that bright start. 5th-minute try for Keith Earls. He did it with a very structured game plan, the driving ball.
Great restart there, that time from Keatley. Again, everyone was thinking the ball was going to go to the left. He moved it to the right. Pressure on the kicker. Munster find themselves now just on the 22 of Toulouse. Obviously, well-worked move, and it's worked for them now. So it's up to the darts through Varley to get it in, and Munster will catch, and I'm sure will drive this ball. Azebo's right underneath me, waiting for the crossfield kick, but I think the forwards want this first.
50 games they played in the Heineken Cup here at Thomond Park. They have won 48 of them. It's an incredible record. It is going to take an incredible team, possibly only the likes of Toulouse, could win again here at Tobin Park. Driving more for the men in red. They've done it so brilliantly all game. Moving left and right. Conor Murray, he had a dart in the first half. He's having a dart again. He's not there, but the next man is. They have started the second half like they started the first half, with a try. And it all came from the kickoff. The flags are being waved. Not just a 4-point game now, and it's Dave Kilcoyne.
You said it, Johnny. Took Keith Earls 5 minutes to score. It's taken Kilcoyne a minute, and it starts from that kickoff. Brilliant, well worked, absolutely bang on. The forwards, up you go, win the ball. Varley at the back, don't panic. This time Murray goes again. He bombed one at the end of that first half. This time he gets so close, but again his loose head prop gets him out of jail. Kilcoyne scores the try, but it comes from these guys. Here it is, just short, recycle. And that is a lovely thing if you're a Munster supporter.
Getting the extra 2 points as well. Brilliant start to that second half, superb rolling ball. But let's remember into the first half when Munster got off to that excellent start as well. They were quite sloppy, they missed the kick-off, and this is the crucial period here, because if Munster score now again, I think it's good night, God bless the Toulouse.
He's trying to open his other eye, isn't he? This afternoon, Frankie.
Trying to sound like Dave Allen there as well, isn't it?
He's got his crystal ball out again, isn't he? Frankie, see it. Vermaak. Houze tried to flick it inside. And it's only the work of Zebo and Conor Murray that have saved a certain try. Just like for the Earls try, Toulouse comes straight back off the restart.
I know they're going to do something, Johnny. That's absolutely right from Frankie. There was going to be a reaction. And it certainly was there. Vermaak going through. Houze, should he have gone himself, he probably would have been tackled. He tries to slip the ball back inside. It wasn't there. Great defence from Zebo. CJ Stanger was there as well. But again, Toulouse is straight back in to get this ball. Have they sacked it, Munster? If they have, that's pretty good work.
Ball is available. Don't touch it.
Brilliant sacking of the wall from Munster. Toulouse unable to generate anything from Decore taking the line. Didn't even have to jump Decore. Ball is ripped out. McAllister. Fiku. Oh, Keith Earls has got it. Toulouse are the team to watch out for in broken field. That's Munster's turn. And they're right back down the other end. Medar could do nothing but to kick that ball out of the field of play.
Great play. They didn't really want it with the Toulouse backs. They didn't want that ball. Fiku desperately didn't want it. Keith Earls was there. You thought at once he maybe have a chance to go all the way. He did the absolute correct thing. Boot to ball, pressure, territory, get down there. Again, it comes through the performance of the Munster forwards. The pressure they put in on any time Toulouse get the ball to rattle in, they get smashed back. And then the back's going to try and do something. They don't. They overload. Keith Earls pounces, and they lose, what, 85 metres down.
Toulouse done this all season. They've coughed and sputtered in the Heineken Cup. Yes, they beat Saracens at Wembley, but lost to Conor. Coughed and sputtered their way through the top 14 as well.
I think more of the same.
Disjointed.
More of the same here. Catch and drive.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Varley splinters off the driving more. Here come Munster again. Conor Murray. Wave after wave again.
Just got to go left. Just got to go through the hands left. There's a try.
Instead they go right. They're over that try line again. Munster doing what Munster do best. Winning in the Heineken What a reaction here at Thomond Park.
Well, I think that says it all, just the crowd. They're just splintering Toulouse all over the place. The replacement, CJ Stander, scores the try, could have gone left. Zebo was screaming for it, it didn't matter. The forwards have won this game. Varley breaks off, his throwing has been pretty accurate. His driving play was superb. And again, it was just a matter of time. Conor Murray for the third time darting, he sets the platform. You think for love nor money, just come left and score. Stander said, no chance, mate, I'm getting that. Great, great try.
Keeley adds the two. Stander, a birthday try for him.
Well, Conor Murray again crucial in setting up that try. You saw him in the first half and he went and got very close. Twice already in this half, he has been the guy who's got so close and has set it up for the two tries. CJ Stander on that occasion. We did say if Munster scored again, it would be good night, God bless. I think it is going to be very challenging for this Toulouse team now to get back into this.
I concur with you, Frankie. I think it's night, God bless, and may your God go with you. And you can see there, Tolafu carried that ball up, and that's the impact that Munster forwards have. They're just pushing each other out of the way to get at the guy, to get anything in a black and red shirt and smash him down. Brilliant play. Corlin again, just commanding everything. They've just got the nuts and bolts absolutely right, and they've got the wind behind them. This will just go straight down the field, and the big chase, the big red chase will carry on.
Vadzi is on a hooker. Toulouse are just not Toulouse. Haven't been for a while. But that defensive press from Munster, there for all to see again. Here's Keatley. Door is closed very quickly.
There's no advantage now.
Just a slight hole there.
Don't overplay it now. You don't want to overplay it. Plenty of points in front. Just do the process. Go through the process. Keatley, he's a running 10 by nature. He loves the hands through, the ball through his hands. But you can see the rush, the wind advantage. They go up there. Uja takes the ball and then just gets smashed down.
Let's go. Next stoppage, lads. Let's go, please. Seconds in.
Munster can't get caught up in the emotion of the occasion, the emotion of this crowd.
Crouch.
They'll stick to what they've
if
got this lead in this game with.
Totally agree, John. If they stick to what they're doing, and again, they're not having to do a great deal because Toulouse are terrible today, but they're putting pressure on them, they're harassing them, and there's no answer from Toulouse.
Get closer.
But if they do this, it could be an absolute embarrassment for the four-time champions.
Get the legs underneath. Killer.
It's pretty embarrassing now, actually. 27-9. Conor Murray in total charge. He's talking to his forwards, they're delivering the ball. The back row has just basically put Toulouse's into an outhouse, and they don't know how to get out.
Bind.
27 points to 9 in a quarter-final. Some margin.
Oh, here he goes, card.
It's going to be a card.
You hinge in, both of you, please. Off you go. You've had your warnings. You're not listening.
Montez and Kilcoyne, both yellow carded.
Time out.
Both sides down to 14 men. Nigel Owens had warned both front rows. You've had your last warning. And is the loose head for Munster, the try scorer now, Kilcoyne, who's gone off.
And if it goes down again,
and Johan Montez has gone off as well for 10 minutes on the naughty step.
There
needs to be a big step too.
What's coming off, back rows, time out.
And as those two players are yellow carded, Clement Poitrenaud, 87th Heineken Cup appearance today, has come on at fullback for Maxime Medard.
What's red? Sam red.
Yeah, Frankie, who's that going to affect the most, you think, now?
Well, I just don't really understand it for a start, Dowie. I mean, you're taking both props off. The two of them did a sin bin offence. It doesn't make sense, and it actually slows down the whole game by another 2 minutes. But I would think that, John Ryan coming in, he's a good, decent loose head now. He should do fine. But I think when you're penalising both, I think that there's no real merit in it. If you're good, if it's either one person's fault or the other, but they're not both creating a penalty.
Crouch.
John Ryan on there for Munster. No Stephen Archer at the moment, no Cronin either.
Bind.
Both out with injuries.
Hold
Ian
there,
Archer,
hold.
that bulging disc. Munster get the drive on, and the penalty.
I can take this one, Frankie. I think the advantage has gone to Munster.
Well, you can tell there, absolutely. John Ryan would be absolutely delighted with that scrum. You could see the wheel did go round, and Munster were able to kind of shear off and create it and put all sorts of pressure on Toulouse. So you're dead right, Dowie. You should come in now from now on the scrum comments, all right?
I'm quite happy where I am, my boy. Thank you very much.
All right.
But again, it's good to see from a Munster point of view. Every time they get down into any type of zone, they either turn the ball over, get a penalty, and I'm sure the way Keatley's kicking, this will be another 3 points and another nail in the Toulouse coffin.
Cyril Bell came on in the front row for Toulouse, 20 years of age. Only his second Heineken Cup appearance, driven backwards, and that gives this penalty opportunity for Keatley.
You need to hurry up now, okay?
The silence turns to laughter as the ball just falls over. Keatley needs to be quick here now, though. He's missed it. Just disrupted his rhythm, Ian Keatley. Going to set that ball again and then hurry up his run up to the kick.
Time out. Luke.
His first miss of the day.
He's missed it. Ficker's trying to be cute and go. Huget was ever present on his right-hand side, but again, the man with the whistle in total charge. But the best thing, I suppose, for Munster, even though they missed that kick, as Boxies comes on, McAllister goes off, is that they still position themselves down in the Toulouse 22. The pressure's still on Toulouse. They have to now, well, they have to be like the Toulouse we all dream of, incredibly offloading side, but they've had no platform to do that. And when they have had limited possession, they simply just don't hold on to the ball.
Boxies is on for McAllister. Milishwski is on in the second row as well. Guinoves playing every card at his disposal. All that Heineken Cup experience now on the field. Florian Fritz, one of them.
Well, this would be the comeback of all comebacks. We're in for, if it is going to be the case, we're in for incredible 28 minutes.
Poitrino. Ficou.
Back.
Red wall from Munster. Boxies. Ficamos. Swats away Foley.
Release Red, move.
And all this without Peter Armani, the captain, who went off early in that first half. O'Connell, the captain, now making the tackle. Boxies again. Poitrino. His numbers there. Downey didn't commit himself. And in the end, Poitrino had to make the decision, and Conor Munnery comes across to try and hold that ball up.
Let it go, let it go. Rock this form, stay.
It's better from Toulouse, a little bit of possession. Bayer. Oh, it's offloaded. Gear. Oh, Jose Gear is going to get one back for Toulouse. It's a brilliant try from Gear. From nowhere. Typical Toulouse, from absolutely nowhere. They grab 5 points back.
Typical Toulouse, you said it, Johnny. Terrible or terrific. That was a superb try. Best of the day by the 20-year-old prop and struggling in the scrum every time he gets a chance in the open play. Watch this. A 20-year-old, tremendous future in front of him. Pops to the experienced All Black Jose Guillen. A little show, a little shimmy, and all of a sudden, is the comeback on? Is it on? Well, we'll have to see, but this is Toulouse at their best with that try. We've seen some terrible stuff in that first half. They struggled to get hold of the ball. Scintillating score.
We said it in the first half, didn't we? With such dangerous runners, the likes of Gear. 2 points of formality. 27-16. Very different complexion to the scoreboard now. Poitrenaud. Now they've got the bit between their teeth of Toulouse. So dangerous. French side, and especially Toulouse, when they have their tails up. Fritz. They're running from everywhere now. Ficou. Downey just about makes the tackle. That defensive line being breached now, almost at will, by Toulouse. Oh, it's a lovely offload. This is the Toulouse that we know and have loved down the years. Box 6 for Marc. Poitrenaud coming up through the first tackle, and all of a sudden Munster looked tired. Poitrenaud, Ficou up to that 22. Stander is looking to turn that ball over. He can't, but Toulouse are holding on to it illegally, and that bit may well be such a crucial moment in this game. Toulouse with their tails up, but Munster come away with a penalty.
Well, I can tell you, this is exactly what Toulouse or Munster did not want. They did not want to give Toulouse any chance whatsoever. Great try by Jose Gear. That has absolutely kicked this Toulouse team back into gear. Everybody at home watching, you can tell how good this Toulouse team are when they do get going. I can tell you the body language from the players has changed. All the players on the sideline, Guy Nouves is up, they're all up, and it's changing. This game is changing.
Munster want to slow it right back down. Keighley taking his time. They will walk to this line out now.
Walk to the line out, but you can see Toulouse, they are breathtaking on times. Nothing too flashy, but again, it's just putting people into space, coming back on angles. These two 20-year-olds, Ficou and Bai. Bai's just come on, Ficou's been in from the start. They've got a tremendous future in there, and you love watching rugby when it's played like this. You can see the anxiety on the Munster faces. They just go back to the basics now, Munster. They've done a good penalty, catch this line out. No, they don't, see?
Smilashilski. Boxis and Fritz walked to everything in that first half. Now he's sprinting everywhere. Boxis seems to have made a difference. Good quick ruck ball for Toulouse now. Gear, the try scorer. Ryan is there, good tackle from the replacement prop. Duncan Casey is on for Munster as well in that front row. And it's Munster who have the ball. Keighley. And it's Felix Jones and Zebo screaming after this one. Poitrenaud just about stays in field, does he? Yes, he does. He comes away now. This game is opening up.
Hands away, release!
Goodness me, we've got some sensational rugby being played from both sides. Keighley doing the absolute correct thing. And you think for a second, don't do that, don't run out of defence. They've done that, Toulouse. A couple of steps, and now they just recycle the ball. What more magic have they got up their sleeves?
We said it would be the comeback of all comebacks. That's what Toulouse are trying to do.
Lost now!
For Marc. No French siders ever won here at Thomond Park. It's the first time that Toulouse have ever visited this famous ground. Pickamall is down as Fritz kicks the ball out of play, and Munster will have the line out.
And now it'll come down to conditioning. Pickamall is down, he picked that knock-up against Toulon, and that loss last week. But again, when you play this way, you've got to have the confidence and the ability to do that, to keep it going for the last 22 minutes. Unless you do that, obviously gaps will happen. You don't look after the ball, turnovers will happen. And that's what Munster are hoping for at the moment, because it's all-out attack from Toulouse. And I think we may see the big fella, Galland, come on as Pickamole comes off. I think he's going off. Kellan, another youngster with a tremendous future in front of him. Again, not the fittest, but man of the match performance down at Wembley versus Saracens, and again, he can carry the ball, so it's a big loss, Picamoles, but you've got a guy that can equally fill his shoes.
Time on.
Yeah, the short list of ERC Player of the Year, Louis Piccolo, rightly so. Had that
Flat.
issue with his pelvis in the week, but Galan is on. Munster with a cheeky line out. There's Paul O'Connell. How they need his leadership now just to settle the ship. There's absolutely no doubt this game has swung back to the way of the Frenchman. Laulala.
Release.
It's crucial now for Conor Murray, just have a cool head, get the communication right.
Hizeba
Hands away, Black. Lost off your feet.
came off his wing brilliantly there, just as a hole opened up for it. There's Casey. Stander came on for Peter Omani early in that first half. Conor Murray, Keatley now, Laulala, Downey, O'Connell, just couldn't get the pass away. Felt he wanted to make it. Conor Murray again.
Still in the hands, play on.
Florian Fritz is down on his knees. Stander.
Lost.
Scored a try already. Conor Murray, here's Zebo, and it's a chance for Munster. O'Connell, from one side of the pitch to the other. Murray, huge dummy, is into his own man, and play stops again.
Okay, where? Okay, wait. Time out, stop everything. Nobody comes on, stop everything. Time out.
Assistant referee JP Lowe was on there just to calm things down. We have a couple of injuries. Time is off, said the referee. Credit to Munster where they've come back as Toulouse on the ascendancy.
Well, again, you've got to concentrate even more when you're playing this sort of catch-up rugby style, ball through the hand stuff. Munster just waiting their time to pounce, to get on the ball.
An accusation of a punch is thrown, that's why he's bleeding in the eye. I think it happened just around where the player was injured on the 10-metre line. I think when Munster's Zebo broke through. Can you have a look if you can see anything from you, please? Thank you.
Just as Nigel Owens is checking with a Derek Bevan. Some possible foul play. Donica O'Callaghan, you hear the huge cheers. Donica O'Callaghan coming on the field.
I have an allegation of a punch here, okay? So I've gone to the TMO to have a look.
Okay.
Once I get anything back, I'll come back and let you know what's happening, okay?
Goodness me, a punch has been thrown. Whatever next.
Well, when I've got a big black eye out against the red, I've got to take it seriously, okay?
This is the hole that Zebo saw superbly. He's skagged by the leg. He presents the ball very well.
You have to get it stopped, okay? Blood, please. 13.
Well, it's difficult to say, has there been foul play?
Clear and obvious, isn't it? That's the wording.
Straight, and don't you come round, okay? Because you know what will happen if you do.
It's coming in and down.
Derek Bevan adjudicating on that. It's very difficult when you go back so far.
It is, because I don't think Derek doesn't quite know from the instructions from Nigel where he's looking.
There is nothing clear and obvious on the screen, mate.
Look, if there is something, the citing commissioner can see it for later. Get on with the game.
I can't see
It's a
there's
cracking
nothing
game.
clear on the screen, okay? We're going to go with a scrum.
Yeah. Good decision, cracking game. Let's go on.
We saw last night plenty of delays. Glad it hasn't taken that long. There's nothing clear and obvious, and play can continue this wonderful
And it will happen.
quarter-final, the first of this season's Heineken Cup quarter-finals continues. Munster,
Okay, middle. Time on, please.
early 2 tries in this second half, but then Toulouse are
Bind.
just sheer rugby brilliance have fought their way back into this game. Now Munster with the scrum, no, scrubbed out with the penalty. Kilcoyne back on the field, Montez back on the field.
Conor Murray looking to go with a quick tap. I don't think you were, Conor. You weren't kidding anyone. Keatley just goes over, and if nothing else, and he doesn't get the 3 points. He missed the last one, his first miss of the day. It knocks another minute or so off the clock, because it's all about countdown now. You got a comfortable zone, comfortable score ahead into the last quarter. You know exactly what Toulouse are going to throw at it. They've done that once with a brilliant try from Jose Guia. But again, anytime you've got an opportunity, just take your 3, and that's what they're doing. They're just trying to close this game off now.
Well, I can tell you something now. I'm looking around me here on both sides, and they're on Munster and Toulouse. Fellas coming off the pitch absolutely in pieces, wrecked, tired. There's still 20 minutes to go in this game. I mean, the whole squad system, 23 people, is so important, and the fitness level's really, really coming into it for both sides here.
Keatley doesn't miss 2 in a row. That exceptional game away at Kingsholm early in this tournament. Then he say he came of age. Huge boots to fill, isn't he? Ronan O'Gara left, but he is, every game he plays, he's looking more and more short in that famous number 10 red shirt.
The king is dead, long live the king. He's got a bit to do to try and eclipse Ronan O'Gara, but he's done the right thing today. I think he'd have got that kick he missed, but he fell off his tee, and he was rushed a little bit, but now he's doing the right thing. Into the shotgun position, put pressure on Toulouse, and that's all you have to do. Press now. Here he is, here's the big fella.
And as far as Munster are concerned, they needed that 3 points just to stem the tie, but here come Toulouse again. It's only fortunate knock on, and it's Keith Earls. Scored in the first half. Here comes Keith Earls. Camera.
22.
That is exceptional pace from the blindside flanker. Keith Earls was screaming down that right touchline, chasing his own kick. Toulouse try the quick 22, but Munster here at Thomond Park.
Comes left, come left, come left, come left.
And they've got numbers. O'Donnell, Laulala, Casey Laulala. That surely now books Munster a place in the semi-finals. Toulouse have come back at them. They're hardly ever denied here. Only twice before in their rich Heineken Cup history. And it looks like Munster won't be denied again today.
Well, it's time to start the party. Boxes is on. Too cute, trying to be too clever. Communication brings down, and literally just anyone could have scored. Laulala gets it. There's 3 people there. Galland can do absolutely nothing with that pace. Zebo celebrating. Everyone's celebrating. It's erupted around me. O'Donnell does the right thing, and it's just a stroll in, and it's been a stroll really for Munster today. There's a little blip with the Jose try coming back. It's party time. It's another semi-final for Munster.
Takes his time, it's just swinging around before the post at 35 points to 16, and this is how.
This is how it happened, this is how they walked it in. Again, I suppose slightly cruel to Boxes, but if you are going to try and be cute, you've got to get the communication right to the guy that's coming on. They've got to try something. They're chasing the game. They have been because of Munster's dominance throughout.
And then who stands up at the restart but Paul O'Connell?
Away, Black!
Toulouse have tried and huffed and puffed today, haven't they? They just haven't been good enough. I wonder whether the belief was there. Galan.
Before he went down,
Turnover.
play on.
Murray. Here come Munster again, Earls. Man and ball that time.
No.
Boxy's making the tackle. Again, Conor Murray is out. O'Donnell. Downey. Now Lala again, their numbers there. Stander. Times, especially in this second half, has been a frenetic pace. Kilcoyne is back on the field and he's spinning and evading tackles. Keatley does the sensible thing. Ian Keatley drives Toulouse back. Clement Poitras. All he can do is kick the ball out. And this, of course, the first of 4 titanic Heineken Cup quarter-finals. Later on this afternoon, Clermont-Auvergne hosts Leicester. With instead, Marcel Michelin. 4 p.m. kickoff for that one. Staying on Sky Sports 2. There is absolutely no need to remove yourselves from the sofa, apart from to refill the pint glass, or the wine glass, or the mug.
The second one, I think. You can have a pyjama day today.
Hanrahan. Just come on the field, JJ Hanrahan.
Flat.
Connor into camera.
Any budding second row watching that, that is how to take a line. Oh.
Yes, Hanrahan is on for Downey. Downey got a big round of applause. Van der Heever is on for Keith Earls as well.
Everybody wants a piece of the action.
Well, just in case anybody thought that Munster were going to take their foot off the gas, enter JJ Hanrahan. And interestingly, what they've done on this occasion, they've taken off James Downey, and Keatley has now gone into 12. So it'll be interesting. They will be throwing the ball around. So this is an important 10 minutes for Toulouse trying to defend, because you know, if Munster keep going the way they are, this could scoreline could be very embarrassing to Toulouse.
And on the sort of wider Munster issue, Frankie, I know they tried Dennis Hurley at 12 last week in Dublin. Do they see there's a problem area? And could JJ Hanrahan be the answer there?
Well, I'm not so sure. I think Ireland tried it out at times, moving Johnny Sexton around. I think you're better off keeping guys in their own position. Of course, Munster have the likes of Downey, who's I think is departing at the end of the season. You've the likes of you know, Ivan Deneen and other guys, and they're probably looking for an international centre to replace Downey. But at this stage of the game, when it breaks up, I think it's a clever idea.
Crouch.
We saw him against Perpignan, didn't we, JJ Hanrahan?
Bind.
Dramatic finish in that game.
Set.
You sense, don't you, Munster going for the jugular here. They want to absolutely bury Toulouse. Vermaak. And it's Poitras. Gillan.
Well, Hanrahan scoring that crucial try, wasn't it? I mean, he came on in the 79th minute, scored in the 80th. And that set him up, obviously, for the home tie. And they've played well. They've played well within themselves, but they've played well. Everyone's done their job, which is great. You know, the lines come up as one. They've committed themselves. The exit strategy has worked, you know, pretty good. And they've gone to script. And I think Rob Penny will be delighted with that, the way, especially the way the forwards have gone.
Of course, they will be away to either Toulon or Leinster. Of course, at the last of the quarter-finals tomorrow, down the Stade Felix Mayor. Midfielders Wilkinson, O'Driscoll, but it's much more than that, isn't it? Formba coming to play, the stats coming to play here. Toman, such a difficult place to come and win.
It's tackling practice now for Munster. Just Toulouse just going from side to side. As Ficker got a little bit of brilliance. Jose Gear definitely has.
Toussaint is on, isn't he? In the midfield. Good mark, little interplay down that short side. Boxes. To Gallin. Poitreau. To Corey. Uge. Felix Jones has to put the foot on the pedal. Zebo was there to save the day.
Felix Jones did his best nearly to mix it up. Zebo covering brilliantly. Back three or back two, they're working in tandem.
Timeout, blood back on.
Timeout for something, but you can see the haunched appearances of the Toulouse forwards. They're having to play a game they don't really like to play. It's normally the backs whizzing it all, but they've got their hands on the ball. They've had to chase this game from a long time ago. Joe Takiri, puffing and panting.
Just got the feeling, didn't we, during those pool stages that
The last scrum
Toulouse
was very good.
Really,
So you make sure that this one is
what
very
it
good
is,
as
the
well.
heart or the mind wasn't quite in it, of course. They had that chance to go away to Zebre
Good, no problem.
and win that game with a bonus point to guarantee themselves a home quarter-final. They didn't do that. 16-6 on the day, and that's why you have to travel to places like Thomond Park.
The belly of the beast, as I called it. Yeah, but that's it. It's the nature of the game. I think sides have worked out. Toulouse big isn't always brilliant or beautiful as the two coaches look on. I mean, they picked a back row today. Yes, Nyanga's injured, but there's other options you can pick of three big beasts. Well, that doesn't necessarily win you games. You've got to get over the ball. You've got to bend your back. And, you know, Munster have done that. But to be fair, they really haven't offered a tremendous amount to lose today, apart from that sensational try from Jose Gear when they really were forced their hand. Munster have been able to manage them, and that's the plus, I think, for Rob Penny's guys today. It was not a catwalk, but it was pretty close to almost the perfect game.
Set.
Well, an interesting one there for poor old BJ Botha. BJ Botha is now on his third prop because if you see, it was actually Ferrara came on initially, sorry, Bally came on initially. Now Ferrara has gone on, so he is on his third prop, so he will be pretty sore and stiff tonight, I would suspect.
Just chewing them up and spitting them out, Frankie.
Just like you used to do with hookers, Frankie.
Crouch.
But it is a Toulouse scrum, just 5 metres out.
Bind.
A score here.
Set.
It won't matter. The clock's ticking down. Doesn't matter really what happens with this scrum.
Stranger things have happened, Howie. Boxis, Doucin, Uge, Poitreau just paddles it on. Jose Aguirre, Felix Jones. When he's been called upon today, Felix Jones, he's been up. Boxis, there's space there. Ficou, surely should have given it. Had front rows outside, and Montez is one of them.
Should have given it to Gallin. Should have, but there was no option not to give it.
Has been an utterly absorbing game of rugby, as you would expect from a quarter-final. Montez, Decore, the huge man in that Toulouse back row, has crashed over. Is it just a consolation? Surely Toulouse will hurry up, take the conversion quickly.
Well, they'll be under 2 converted tries if this goes over, but there's bodies all over the place. They can play. They're playing really well when they get the ball through the hands. Ficou made a couple of mistakes, but again, he is such a talent. Toulon let him go. He was one of their academy. Why they did that, I'll never work out. And then, boom! Watch out. The ex-cast captain is coming through. You're not stopping him.
Should be fairly fundamental for Boxis. It is. I read somewhere that Joe Takura is 17 stones. Add another 3, if not 4.
And keep going. This is it's a pretty good attempt. Takuri, like I said, he played second row last week. He can play in the back row. Have we got to finish? 7 minutes to go. I don't think so. Too many points. Well, 2 converted tries, they get it, but No, Ian Keatley will take his time. Paul O'Connell will get his hands on the ball, we'll have a line out. I would have egg on my face, wouldn't I, if they did?
Oh. How quickly they score that try. Jose Aguirre. Galan is taken by Zebo. If there's any doubt whether Munster still want this game, of course they do. Zebo racing up in the 73rd minute.
That was one of the pictures I'll take from this game, is Zebo trying to choke tackle Galan as they turn the ball over again. Good play from Munster, press, and invariably Toulouse will cough it up.
It's been a key part of the victory today, hasn't it? Well, we think it's going to be victory. Is this defensive press from Munster? It has been superb all day long. Murray, Hanrahan, Felix Jones, Zebo. Simon Zebo rounds it off. There is no way back for Toulouse now. And Munster, their love affair with this Heineken Cup goes on. A semi-final berth is theirs now.
Zeebs goes over again. How many times have we seen this? It's that man, CJ Stander. He's there, he's turned the ball over, and then they don't panic. There's enough experience out there. When it comes across, you think Zeeb's got a lot to do here. He just bides his time, and straight through the scrum half.
Well, just when you thought there was going to be a last 10 minutes sweat there, Dowie said it, 12, 13 points is a dangerous lead. Toulouse, the tails were up, but just when you needed it, Simon Zebo into the corner there, and he's a real crowd favourite. You could hear the crowd behind me chanting Zebo, 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 and no better guy to take all the plaudits.
And he was the one that raced up from the kickoff. He was huffing and puffing on the wing, and then to score that try.
The champions is scored by Simon Zebo. He scored Munster 40 points, Toulouse 23.
Doesn't really matter, does it? With this conversion from Keeley.
Time out, number 3.
Doesn't matter at all.
3.
Again, it's just it's become a bit of a procession now. They let sort of Toulouse back in with 2 tries, but they always come back with a reaction, and that's what coaches want to see. BJ Botha can go off for a well-deserved rest. Can mark up 3 props, 1, 2, 3 have taken apart, and Conor Murray goes off as well. I've got to say, tremendous control from him. I think he bombed a chance in the first half, but set up another 2, and I think he's learning. He's becoming a very, very good controlled scrum half. His potential is limitless, really. He's got great pace. He's a big, strong guy. Box kicks well. A good cog in the Munster side.
There's Duncan Williams, who's come on. Now Lala looking for that offload. And Munster now full of confidence. 5 tries on the board and 40 points in a quarter-final of the Heineken Cup, Dowie. 40 points against Toulouse. 4-time champions. Is there one twist left in this game as Montez drops the ball?
Play.
Pochino picks it up. Dusa, Miloszewski to Corey. Good hands down the line, but one of those passes was forward. That rather sums up Toulouse's afternoon.
Yeah, well, it's a guy. Ian Keatley, I think, has orchestrated things superbly well. He's had a tremendous platform to play off. I talked about Conor Murray, but there's one guy that a few people thought that maybe should have started this game. He came on for the captain, Peter O'Mahony, CJ Stander, ex-Blue Bull, South African under-20 captain. I think he's been absolutely sensational since he's come on. There was something in his stride as he walked up saying, I should have started this game. He scores a try. He's turned over loads and loads of ball. He's been absolutely a pain in the proverbial backside of Toulouse. and he's just stood up when they needed a guy to stand up when your captain goes off. So he's my Heineken Cup man of the match, CJ Stander.
CJ Stander.
Well, I thought that was a very, very good choice. I think Stander knew when the talisman and captain Peter O'Mahony went up, he knew he had to have a big game. And boy, he came in and he delivered. He was all over the place. His body language, his energy levels were excellent. And there you see Peter O'Mahony, and let's just hope that that shoulder isn't serious and that we'll see him again in the knockout stages.
His 16th successive appearance in a European quarter-final, this for Munster. They go hand in hand, don't they? Munster and the Heineken Cup.
Bind. Set.
They've won it twice. And they back up last year's semi-final appearance with another semi-final appearance. It will be on that Sunday, 27th of April, either against Toulon or against Leinster. Could be at the Aviva Stadium, of course. Here come Munster again, and it's Casey. Cuts back inside. Keatley finds Duncan Williams. Stander, the man of the match. Williams. Hanrahan. JJ Hanrahan. It's into Paul O'Connell. And would you believe it? Paul O'Connell. Scores try number 6. 45 points to 23. What a day for Paul O'Connell. What a day for Munster. What a day for the province.
Well, if you thought this place couldn't get any louder, you're wrong. It's just absolutely gone off. He doesn't get many tries. It's a game that is gone. But again, that man, another word, talismanic, is overused sometimes, but he has been for Munster. Look at the boy, look at the Toulouse skill that the Munster guys are showing here. Okay. Left, right, forwards. Hanrahan makes the break. Who's on his hand? It's the back row. It isn't. It's the second row. And you thought at one stage then he was held up. Nigel Owens was never going to get to the TMO with that one. That was going to be a try. The 6th try for Munster. It's been absolutely fantastic. Final whistle, brilliant.
And the conversion is over from Keatley. O'Connell had to stand up, didn't he? He always stands up, but even more so with Peter O'Mahony going up so early in this game. He had to lead from the front, and he's led all the way to the very end. 47 points now in a quarter-final of the Heineken Cup against Toulouse. It's the stuff dreams are made of.
Dreams, yes, Johnny, you wouldn't have thought that. You would have got a tremendous price. I think the bookies were giving Munster by 6. We thought it was going to be that close. But Toulouse have had their wobbles in their pool stages, and they had a massive wobble today. They weren't at the best. They weren't allowed to be at the best because Munster came out with a game plan. They rushed in their defence. They came off the line well. They lost their captain early. They brought on a substitute who was my man of the match. To a man, everyone played. They thought they might creak in the scrum. They didn't. They thought they might creak in a line-up. They didn't. They nicked a few balls from Toulouse everywhere, especially the half-backs. Had total control. Nigel Owens played his part, magnificent as a referee, and in the end Munster was just far too good. A moment of brilliance from Jose Gia, another try from Takiri. That was about it. They have been well beaten today, Toulouse, and Munster just march on.
The 51st Heineken Cup game here at Thomond Park, and still they've only lost 2. This, one of their sternest challenges. We wondered whether Toulouse had the mental fight in them this season to come to a place like Thomond Park and win. But the answer, quite simply, was no. Munster stood up, they fought, and they take a place in the semi-finals against either Toulon or Leinster. They're just inseparable, aren't they? Munster and the Heineken Cup. Not even the most successful side in the history of this tournament, the 4-time champion Toulouse, could separate them today. 47 points to 23. Munster have won, and in the end, Munster wanted it more and were willing to give more to the cause, and they are deserving victors over Toulouse. Graham Simmons is ready with our man on the mat, CJ stand up, and Paul O'Connell is there as well.
Boys, many congratulations. I can look at 47 points, 6 tries against Toulouse. That's a rout, Paul, isn't it?
Yeah, look, I mean, it was one of those days where everything came off for us, everything went well for us. We got off to a really good start with a few line-out steals and some really good play for a very good try. And after the disappointing performance of last week, it gave us a bit of a lift, put a bit of confidence back into us, and we were disciplined then for the rest of the game. Disappointed to concede those 2 tries, but I think against a team like Toulouse, sometimes it's inevitable. And but yeah, it was a brilliant performance by everyone, by the bench. You know, obviously we lost Pete early on, that was massive. So it's a really great day after a really disappointing week last week.
You were clinical today, Paul. I mean, every time you were in that 22, you seemed to come away with points. Was that the difference today?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, look, we're not always like that, but that's what you always aspire to be like. And today, you know, things went our way today. Certain things certainly went our way, and it's great it happened on a day like today.
You mentioned Peter O'Mahony going off, the man alongside you came on. Difficult to lose a skipper, difficult to lose a talisman player like him at that point. How big a game, therefore, did this man have filling those boots?
Look, he's everything you'd want when you sign a foreign player, you know. He's stuck in the middle of all the jokes. He sits on the back of the bus. He's just an incredible guy. He's had a lot of disappointment with selection during the year, but he still bounces into training and is the life and soul of the party. And you know, we're very lucky to have him, and very lucky to lose a player of Peter's quality, and for him to come off the bench and then be man of the match is incredible.
Hang on there 1 second, Paul, don't go away. What were you thinking, young man, when you came onto the pitch there when the captain's gone off?
No, I just thought it's big boots to fill, you know, and in this game like this, I'm still emotional, you know. The support's so great. They just lift you, know, when you're on the pitch.
Were you worrying at any stage there? Because as well as you were playing, you had them in the box, if you like. There were times there where it was difficult to nail down the lid. Were you getting a bit worried that Toulouse were going to come back and bite you on the bum?
Yeah, no, we have our game plan, you know, and some stage in the game they had great ball and they were getting go forward, you know, and we just stuck to our game plan, and I think our defence helped us a bit at the end, you know.
Last word to you. It was last word to you on the pitch. Last word to you here at the try. About time. When was the last time you got over the whitewash, O'Connell?
I scored
your head
against Connacht last season, but not for a long time in the Heineken Cup. So it was.
How did that feel? How did that feel?
Well, it was just a tap-in really, but felt great. Felt great. Thanks.
So tomorrow you've got to sit on your sofa, and you've got to reach for your blue scarf and your skinny latte and your salad fork, and do what you never do and cheer for Leinster.
Yeah, look, absolutely. It'd be great to play Leinster. It'd be very tough. I'm sure they're happy. They'd be happy sitting on their couch knowing they have us and not Toulouse now. But
I'm not so sure about that.
If they win, like, I mean, it's
talking them up already, aren't you?
Well, no, look, it's incredibly hard for them to go down there against Toulon, and whoever we get in the semi is going to be incredibly hard as well. But we're just delighted today. We weren't looking beyond today, so to get that win today is just incredible for us. We thought it was going to be a big mountain to climb, and to perform like we did is brilliant.
Don't spend all evening boring everybody about your try, will you?
I won't.
Alongside is Pat Marr from Heineken to present some Waterford Crystal to CJ.
Special day. Well played.
Thanks, man.
Good to have you.
Enjoy.
Well done, fella. Well played.
Well, the young and old of Munster there, he does remain Mr. Munster, doesn't he? Spring in the step for Paul O'Connell, and rightly so. His side have stormed into the Heineken Cup last 4, and as Graham was intimating there, it will either be Leinster in Dublin or Toulon in Marseille, but we await the outcome of that game tomorrow at the Stade Félix Mayol. But Munster, my word, they have laid down a statement at home this afternoon. Toulouse, you have to say, ridiculed, and that does not happen often in the knockout stages of this tournament. But from Thomond, we're not going to hang around for too long, because we're off to the Stade Marcel Michelin. It is third in the top 14 against third in the Premiership. Clermont, one of the favourites this year. The Tigers twice champions, 3-time runners-up, of course, as well. But to progress this season, they have to break Clermont's stunning 74-game unbeaten streak at home. It promises to be an absolute belter. A big afternoon for these two, and it's a huge weekend as well in the F1 calendar.
Realise it's your best chance for a World Championship since 2008. Oh yeah, that's for sure. Without doubt.
Wow, this is pretty messy. I think we should stand back here. Oh, I think that's off the circuit.
You just cut a new deal with these Hungarians then, Bernie?
I don't like that expression. We've made an arrangement.
So the details, if you'd like to watch the F1 from Bahrain, we have qualifying for you now. Sky Sports F1 channel for that, and the race itself will be on the same place at 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Munster's rev counter has hit some highs this afternoon, though. They have absolutely belted the four-time champions Toulouse by 47 points to 23. Alan Quillen, you were quite a nervous man ahead of this one. Your old boys have just ripped into it this afternoon. How big a marker do you feel they've laid down for the rest of the tournament?
It's huge. I think I was nervous enough coming into the game. I thought Toulouse, when I looked at their team sheet, I thought they had a very strong team, but you know, Will and Wally were chatting to me and trying to convince me that, you know, Toulouse, and the stats are there, Toulouse have lost 11 times away from home in the top 14, so they haven't been used to going on the road, and they were just ambushed by Munster. I think the relentless intensity was the key to me, you know, and Paul said it there, you know, a lot of the passes stuck, and they were patient then when Toulouse came back in. But if you analyse the whole game, Toulouse never really threatened. They never had that relentless building phases, putting Munster under too much pressure. I think there was one moment there when it came back to 13 points after the Jose Aguirre try, where Munster were on the racks a little bit. Toulouse were, after making some ground at Standard, got a magnificent turnover. It was a really key moment in the game, but they never really tested Munster at all. Munster had that momentum and that go forward all throughout the game.
Well, this was another great Munster performance. CJ Standard deservedly gets man of the match, but it could have been any number of players. And Kilcoyne was outstanding, Varley as well up front, the amount of tackles and everything they did. But it was the hunger, it was the organisation as a side. The maul in particular, I thought, late in the second half, early in the first half, is what really killed the game off. And then just the leadership from Murray in particular, the bit of skill coming in from Zebo. There's still some areas, I think, to improve. I think the scrum, they'll be a little bit you know, disappointed in how that went at times, maybe the outside defence channels. But when you look at what they're so good at, and the breakdown in particular, I think they had 67 turnovers in the pool stages. I don't know how many were there, but there was a hell of a lot of turnovers.
They weren't perfect at times, but now's not the time, as Paul O'Connell was talking with Graham Simmons there, to worry about who they're playing in the next round or to pick at the holes. As a performance, 47 points, Toulouse, the calibre of player, irrespective of their terrible run of results, they still have players who can produce flashes of brilliance, and they were completely and utterly blown away in the opening 10 minutes of that second half. It was an absolute power play. Great kick-off, forced a poor kick. Conor Murray all day. I think he's jumped above Mike Phillips now in terms of if there's a Lions tour, it'd be him and Kerr scrapping it out for that first slot. Brilliant round the corner. Kilcoyne outstanding all day. And then when CJ Stander again benefits Conor Murray, there he goes across. Such a good left foot step. Power, pick, go, over. Game dead and buried. What did Frankie say? Good night, nurse. Something like that. It was all over at this stage.
See how quickly Stander gets up off the ground and makes the carry again.
The pressing here, we don't see nearly enough of this.
Well, this is the one worry. I mean, you might say, well, it was 27-9. The game was over. There's a 4-minute period now, 5-minute period now, where Toulouse pulled Munster apart. Rico Jose Aguirre, great try. But this boxing is what you're doing. It's comedy. I mean, it's absolute shambles. Kicks it to the Munster guy on a quick 22, pass it down the line. Great finish from Zebo. Everyone saying you make the tackle.
Yeah, but Munster started off with some of the backline play. The passing wasn't very slick. But as the game went on, when they were getting these opportunities, they just finished so well. And again, Toulouse, they did come back. They did try back. Toucoy was probably the only time we saw a player like him in the game. He came back and fired. But what did Munster do? They regathered themselves again and they come back. The hunger was there. It was always there. There was always numbers getting there. Look at this from Zebo, right? A player of slight, but he's just gone straight forward. Vermaak probably could have done better.
A
but
very
Zebo,
big
not just
red cherry
slide,
on top.
And they grew in confidence, Munster. You know, these kind of offloads, O'Connell getting the try. It was just slick hands out to Casey, back in, you know, back into Williams and Hanrahan. They grew in confidence, but they laid the platform. And when I talk about relentless intensity, that comes down to fitness.
Yeah.
Fitness was a key here. They could just lift the pace, and that's how they blew
the way
Toulouse
Toulouse
away.
played, though, all the other 6 people in the quarter-final will wish God, I wish we'd had them today.
Yeah,
they didn't show up at all.
Well, I was going to say exactly. We are going to talk a lot more about Munster today, tomorrow perhaps, but just a word on Toulouse. I mean, have they got to have a serious look at what they are about at the moment? I mean, is Noves under pressure now? He's been there since time began.
He would have to come under pressure, but history will count in his favour in terms of 4 European Championships. They'll look closely at what's going on. They look disjointed. They're not sure about who their 9s and 10s are. You saw on 51 minutes, McAllister went off. He wasn't injured. McAllister's come into this game with a niggle. Noves has thought, top 14, we've got to make the top 6 to get into the Heineken for next season, next time round. So he's dragged Piccamole off with a little limp, and he's it's all about pride. It was damage limitation on 50 minutes.
Yeah. Just a quick promo for you of the semi-final. Munster are in, and as we've said already, it's either Dublin or Marseille to take on the winner of tomorrow. Very quickly, who will Munster fans want?
I think that they prefer to go to Dublin. There's no doubt, you know, they know Leinster. Obviously, it's been a derby match. The record isn't that great against Leinster, but I think they prefer to go to Dublin, definitely.
I think either one, the crowd are going to be probably bigger from Munster.
The fans want to go to the south of France, don't they? Nice day out, back end of April.
Slap the sun cream on.
Don't go to Dublin and out down the road.
They'd probably, if they were to lose, they'd probably prefer to lose to Toulon than Leinster. But I think up the road, it's familiar territory. All the players are used to playing there, but it'll be hard to, you know, that's a phenomenal game tomorrow.
It's going to be a belter, that is for sure. But one French team has bowed out. They've been blown out, it has to be said. Toulouse this afternoon. We are moving on to the next one, though. Clermont against Leicester. Matchups all over the park, but in the spotlight, 2 players central to their team's ambitions. And this clash is going to be box office.
Wesley Fofana, oh, he doesn't need an invitation like that. Into Fofana! Oh, that was brilliant! Fofana has done it!
That's beautiful footwork from Wesley Fofana.
And it's Tuilagi, and they worked it through the gaps! Through the top, straight through!
And that's what he can do, he just powers out.
He checks, Tuilagi doesn't!
Continuity is passion. Amlin sponsors Rugby Union on Sky Sports.
En Madrid, mientras los aficionados toman las calles antes del partido que decidirá la gloria española.
Well, you can tell everybody. Yeah, you can tell everybody. Go ahead and tell everybody. I'm the man, I'm the man, I'm the man.
Can you feel that? That's Double Delight Hat-Trick Heaven. Bet on the first goal scorer, and if he scores first, you win. If he gets another, we'll double your odds. And if he gets a hat-trick, we'll treble them. If you love football, you'll love a bit of Betfred. Sign up now for a free £25 match bet.
Easter may be the biggest time of the year for DIY. But it's also a great time for doing things together. At Sainsbury's, we have everything you need to enjoy this Easter together.
That moment when energy flows and everything clicks. There's a word for it.
Don't make me throw it down. Back down.
Welcome to the Singing Dictionary. For uncommon words, press 1.
Oh, here we go.
Bumfuzzle. Verb to confuse or generally bewilder.
To repeat the word, press the hash key.
All 0800 calls are free on our 24-month plans. Make the most of them.
With EasyJet, enjoy allocated seating on every flight. Glide straight through the airport with the EasyJet app. And travel with confidence on one of Europe's most punctual airlines. Flying with EasyJet has never been easier. This is Generation EasyJet.
Watch this.
It's good, but it's not quite Carling cider.
Award-winning Carling British cider, refreshingly perfect. Now also available in cherry.
The quietest bagless cylinder cleaner on the market, tested under extreme conditions. The new GS50 Power Silence by Bosch. Bosch, invented for life.
United were 33-1 outsiders.
People thought this was going to be a foregone conclusion.
Bayern Munich, who've conquered all before them.
Manchester United get the goal they dreamed of. Schweinsteiger. Bayern Munich's goal scorer. Who's off? Manchester United saved their best for Europe.
Bayern Munich v Man United, part of a big night of UEFA Champions League football. Live only on Sky Sports.
This isn't just where it happens. This is why it happens. Home and host. Home and dry. This is where others dare to win, but where we never dare to lose. Home is where the heart is.
So the Tigers enter the Lions' Den this afternoon. Leicester may be outsiders, but they appear very comfortable in the role. Happy to heap the pressure onto Clermont and willing to see what happens. Leicester haven't been beyond the quarterfinals for the last 4 years. Can the current crop better that today? And look at the focus in those eyes. So live in high definition and on Sky Go for you this afternoon, the second of this season's Heineken Cup quarterfinals as ASM Clermont-Auvergne take on Leicester Tigers for a place in the last four. The winner will be away to Ulster or Sarries, who play here in Belfast at 6:30. Munster are in though. They have smashed down that semi-final door. What a game to look forward to now at the Stade Marcel Michelin. We have Wally, Alan Quinlan and Will Greenwood alongside throughout the course of this afternoon. And interesting from Leicester this week, they've stripped it right back. Richard Cockley's just said, let's go out and give it a crack. How liberating is that for a player when it seems to be just a win-win situation?
Yeah, when the pressure's off, it's grand. You can go around and the build up to the game, I suppose you're putting pressure on yourselves. You're always going to have that. And when you're going to somewhere like Clermont, you always feel, you know, you got to get belief in there. So a lot of it starts at training. It doesn't really matter what the coach is saying. It's got to be built within the side. It's the 15 players on the pitch. And Leicester, we've seen them on the road. They always put up a big fight. I think they'll be confident that they'll just go there, keep putting as much pressure as they possibly can on Clermont, and let's see if Clermont might crack. I don't think Clermont are going to fall apart because the pressure's on them, because they're 73, 74 wins, whatever it is. I think they're going to be very confident, but keep putting the pressure on, and who knows.
Leicester getting their big men back, starting to play. Their form guide is outstanding. They're happy to go on the road. They've won 5 of their last 6 away from home. Tuolangi's back looking fit. They look strong. Gonover's been shifted out into the wing. He's a one-man wrecking ball. They look great. And you know what? Last year they went to Toulon, didn't they, in the quarter-final? And they gave it a heck of a go. I mean, an absolute heck of a go. There was some outstanding performances, and they lost to the eventual winners. They don't fear going to Clermont. There's enough in the coaching staff, in and around the camp, who have been to Clermont and won. mean, it's a few years ago now, but they have a history of going to that stadium and winning, and they'll go, and it's a wonderful opportunity for a player to go. All records have to go at some stage.
If they're to be in with any chance today in Clermont, and haven't played there before, and we troubled Clermont a few times, we got 2 bonus points there with Munster, you've got to hold on to possession. The strong, dominant teams like Clermont they're used to winning. They're not used to defending a lot because they usually have the ball. So Leicester are going to have to really hold on to that ball and get Tuolangi, like you say, Will, and Gonova. You know, Salvi's really important at the breakdown. Jordan Crane has to have a big game. Ed Slater running that line out. I know there's a lot of stuff to go right, but if you dare to have a chance against Clermont, you've got to ask questions of them defensively and match them physically. And Leicester went to Munster in 2007, and Cockerell has referenced it this week, and I'm sure the Leicester players will have mentioned it. They came and took away our record in Thomond Park. So they've done it before. They've broken one of these records. Somebody's going to beat them someday. So why not go there in a quarter-final, give it a crack? You have to play incredibly well to get a result here, because 74 wins is a phenomenal record. But I think that's how they're going to do it, if they are going to do it. A lot of stuff to go right, but you know, they got to be up for it. They got to get guys on a team sheet to have magnificent games, to really put their hand up.
Williams is a kid, you know, and he talked about the biggest game of his career being the East Midlands derby against Northampton.
Going up a level
let's
today.
just go up a little bit. But he never backs off. He's in front of Toby Flood. It's irrespective of Toby Flood moving on to a different club next year. This is Owen Williams has grabbed this shirt. He goes flat, he plays, and he's getting everyone involved. They're playing ball in hand. This isn't the old Leicester who want to just scrummage. They go to Clermont and want to play.
Let's show you how these two have escaped their pools.
It's about as tough as it gets for week 1. Jackson goes cross-field, looking for Bow. He's brilliant at this. Oh, he is brilliant.
We have top stars all around us. And is it going to be that escape to victory for the